morning, traders. Welcome back to Fidus Trading Channel, and we are back again with another daily markets analysis video. It is the 23rd of April 2025 on this beautiful Wednesday, and without further ado, let's take a look at the charts and see what we can see. Hoping today to get some really good profits in the markets. If you do note, there are some new blocks that I've included on my charts. That is just for my own analysis. I have removed trend lines, but nonetheless, we will still do the analysis as we've done it in the past. So let's start with NAS 100. We are on the 4-hour chart, and let's see what we can see. So as we noted of recent, after the tariff announcements and then the tariff pause, markets have been very volatile and indicators have been pretty unsubstantiated or pretty inaccurate per where the trend is going. That is mostly because price will sit upon the 50 SMA, break the 50 SMA, then go back above the 50 SMA. So they have been invalidated for the most part, which also leads me to believe that there is no trend in the market at the moment. And thus we will be looking for scalps in the short term until we have a validated trend which has stepped into the market. So that being said, let's take a look at US tech. Since there's no validated trend from the 4-hour time frame, as we can see, there's a lot of volatility. We are up, down, up, down, up, down. As we mentioned in the past, this was a daily level of support at 17,000, and price tested that, broke back above. We did come below, it looked like a bit of a retracement, and now we have a strong push to the upside. So if you take a look at the 4-hour chart, let's just see here. Just within this space, we can see very much a bullish move to the upside, not to mention the massive gap that we have here. So in the short term, I am expecting this gap to be filled at some point, but for now, the trend is running bullish. We can also observe price is back above the 50 SMA, trading very close, and we are in the bullish territory of RSI. Moving on to the 1 hour, we can see the bullish structure at play. So we have higher lows, higher lows, higher lows, higher lows, higher lows, and higher highs, respective higher highs in that space. We can also see price trading above the 50 SMA, and we have curvature of that 50 SMA to the upside. We're currently in the overextended territory of the RSI, very slightly, not at levels that I'm uncomfortable with taking further long positions, but noting that the higher up this goes, the more cautious I have to be in response to the potential retracement that can take place. I am going to be drawing fresh trend lines in here. So what can we observe? Price pivoted here at 17,600. So I'm going to draw a line right about there. Actually, I'm just going to make it from that point. It appears that this is a new pivot point. It kind of came out of the blue. I would have expected it to have happened there. Price kind of broke below and then broke back above. But we will mark this out as our support at 17,600. Moving on from there, we have resistance at 19,000. So I will be looking to trade bullish within that range. So at the moment, I am looking for long positions. What I'm doing is I'm finding consolidative zones within the long positions at the 15-minute chart. And also just noticing how close price is to the 50 SMA, but right now we have none. But if we come into the 1 hour time frame, but we come into the 15-minute, we have a little bit more validity and opportunities. So what I'm doing is marking out the pivot points. So we have pivot point there, we have a pivot point here, or just wherever I see price hitting into the sweet spot right there. We have some sweet spot touches right there, and these ones have already been too far gone. From here, I'm looking for consolidative zones within the 15 minutes. So as you can see, we have one here, we have one there, another one here. And then what I am doing is waiting for a breakout to the upside because we are trading bullish momentum per the lower time frame. And from that bullish momentum, we can see when the breakout occurs, we just place our entry on the 5-minute chart. So from here, once I see a breakout, a consolidation followed by a bullish confirmation, just enter entering, and it seems to be providing some pretty decent profits right now. Please note that we are waiting for the close. So we're waiting for the close above the consolidation zone from the 15-minute. Once that 5-minute has closed above, we then just wait for momentum to kick in. So here was a bit early, so I missed this, but I caught the retest right about here at 9:30 and traded that to the upside. Now, these are scalping opportunities, so the idea is to get your profits and get out. Scalping intraday opportunities. So you can hold it for a minute, but just note if the trend starts turning against you, we need to be very cognizant of that. So what I'm doing is I'm using the higher time frame to confirm a bias. So what I can observe here, I'm just going to remove these gray lines. So what I'm doing is confirming the bias on the higher time frame, so we know it's bullish. We have bullish structure, price trading above 50 SMA, we bullish on the RSI, so we know from a 1 hour perspective we bullish. 15 minutes, we also bullish here. We confirm this by price trading within the bullish range of the RSI and above the 50 SMA, and then we can also jot down our retracements per the pivot points. Once we have those, we mark out our consolidator phases, and then the breakout of consolidation allows us to enter on the 5-minute chart. So we're ensuring that we have confluence throughout our time frames, and then we take action per the price action on the 5-minute. So that is a strategy that I'm currently employing at the moment, and we're going to do the same thing with US 30. So US 30, also very volatile movements since the tariff announcements, price breaking above, below the 50 SMA, so it's invalidated it for the most part. Price trading volatile on the RSI as well, and due to the 50 SMA being so erratic, it's been difficult to mark out sweet spots on the RSI on the 4-hour time frame. However, just from a confluence perspective, we see we're bullish on the RSI. We are bullish on 50 SMA, just breaking above now, and we have clear bullish structure that is currently taking place since Monday. So with that, we're going to mark out our support at 37,885 and our resistance at 40,850. Just going to make this blue quickly. Yeah, so right now I'm just trading intraday trends. I think it's the simplest option to make some money. If we trade the longer term time frames, then I need to take longer term trades, which means you have to lock in your capital for a lot longer. And right now I'm just looking to build. So I am going to be focused more on intraday and scalping strategies moving forward. Just having a sip of my coffee there. It's a bit early in the morning for me. So let's go into the 1 hour, see what we can see. On the 1 hour time frame, what we can observe is price has a bullish structure. So we have higher lows, higher lows, higher lows, higher lows, higher lows, followed by respective higher highs that are in the market. Also mentioning price trading above the 50 SMA, very far beyond the 50 SMA at the moment, if I might add, and we are very much tapping into that overextended bullish territory on RSI. Not enough to make me nervous, where I'm expecting a deep retracement, but enough to just consider the fact that we are in this zone and we could have a potential retracement. So we are intraday trading, we are scalping, we're going to take profits, and if we see a major pivot point in this overextended range, I'm going to start to actually take my profits out of the market. So from here, I am looking at the bullish confluences which we have. So we have bullish confluences on the 1 hour, 3 bullish confluences. We then go into the 15-minute. From the 15-minute, we see price trading comfortably above the 50 SMA. We're getting very close to it, getting close to it, getting close to it, getting close to it. And what happens when we get close to it? Price enters that sweet spot in the RSI between 45 and 55. Once it enters that sweet spot in the RSI, all I'm doing is just marking out potential levels. So we mark one out here. We mark one out there. We have another one here. There's another one here. And then I'm just actually going to put these on the lower time frame. Current and below. current and below. Yeah, just so it doesn't impact the rest of our analysis on the higher time frames. Okay, that being said, once we have those marked out, what are we doing? We are looking for the consolidator phases, so we know when to trade the breakout. It just adds confluence. So, like I mentioned in earlier videos, I was struggling with entry positions. Obviously, I was trying to trade the pivot points, but I didn't know precisely where to get those entries. And generally, the markets would take off without me, and I would get maybe 2 out of 5 opportunities versus getting 5 out of 5. So I noticed the consolidator phases within the 15-minute. Once I see consolidation, I just mark that out, marking out some consolidation there, consolidation here, and then going into the 5 minutes, we look for our entries. So boom, we got our first one here. Price broke above consolidation, closed with a bullish confirmation right there at 8:25 on Tuesday. Then we just place our entry with our stop loss below structure. Traded that for a nice 1:13 already. From here, we have price trading consolidation, and then at around 10:03, we had the breakout, followed by the bullish confirmation, and we can trade that for a nice 1.5, 1:5. After this, I'll post the gray line. We had our slight consolidation. This one was a bit harder to spot. So like I say, I'm still refining the method per se. I would like a bit of longer consolidation, but nonetheless, this was still consolidation. We had our breakout, bullish confirmation, entered here, and we had a 1:3. Then today, we had our consolidation. We had our touch on the RSI. We can just close these indicators. We don't need them now because we know we are trading to the upside. And once price broke out, broke out here at 9:45, bullish confirmation, enter, price below structure, and we're trading 1:4 to the upside. Well, we'll wait to see how that ends up. So the methodology behind this is quite simple. We are obviously gathering evidence from a higher time frame as to where the trend is going. Once we have evidence as to what the trend is from the 1-hour time frame with multiple confluences, we go to a lower time frame just to confirm from a behavioral perspective that price is actually heading in that direction. So for 15 minutes, we're confirming price is heading in that direction. And then what we're doing is we're noting sweet spots in the RSI. We're noting how close price is to the 50 SMA. And then we're using the 5-minute, and then we're marking our consolidation zones within the 15-minute. And then from there, 5-minute, we're using for breakouts, potential break and retests upon the consolidation zones, and then entries all the way to the upside. If price broke below consolidation, I would not be taking those sells, because if it's a sell and a bullish trend, there's no confirmation that that sell is going to continue, and not to mention the fact that we would be trading against a trend. If it was a bearish trend from a 1-hour time frame, I would be open to taking those sells, but then at the same time, I wouldn't be looking at buys. So that is just the strategy which I'm employing right now. It seems to be doing its trick, and I will continue to use it and backtest it and get back to you all as to its validity. But right now, it seems to be doing the trick, and I'm getting some pretty good scalps out of it from the past 2 days. Let's go on to gold. So gold, very bearish at the moment, about 5-minute, but let's go into the 4-hour. 4-hour gold. So let's bring up our RSI and our 50 SMA. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. So now what does this point out to us? So remember, like I said, a higher term time frame gives us better market directionality. And what I can observe in the 4-hour for gold is that price has come back to the 50 SMA. It is within the sweet spot of the RSI, and it's a bullish trend from the 4-hour perspective. What does that mean? I may be looking to go long right here. Yep, I said it. I want to go long in a bearish market from the 4-hour. How would I do this exactly? So I know it's within the sweet spot. I need to look for consolidation on a lower term time frame. So we know from a 4-hour perspective, we have higher lows, higher lows, higher lows, respective higher highs. So we have bullish structure, price trading above the 50 SMA. We are currently close to the 50 SMA. and we are in the sweet spot of the RSI where we could potentially see a bounce after a retracement. And this deep retracement here means liquidity has been collected, which means we could see a push to the upside, potential push to the upside. So on the 1 hour, what are we observing? Price is trading bearish. So 4 hour told us it's bullish, 1 hour tells us it's bearish. Why does it say it's bearish? Price has lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high, and respective lower low structures. Currently see we have a bit of a channel at play here. Now, with that being said, price is trading in that bearish range on the RSI. We haven't exactly tapped into the sweet spot yet. Recently, I would say, yeah, that should have been a sweet spot hit, but it didn't get all the way up there. So from a 1 hour perspective, we have some bearish nature at play. From a 4 hour perspective, we have bullish nature at play. What do? Well, like I said, from a higher time frame perspective, from a medium term trade, so where I would be looking for a trade, say on the 1 hour time frame, I want to go long. But the 1 hour is still pointing towards the bears being in control. So from here, I'm going to head into my 15 minutes and see what I can see. From a 15-minute time frame, we can see multiple bearish opportunities. So price trading below this level here, we're going to just mark out our sweet spot. There's one. There's a second one. Price breaking above there. So that was a bit of a dangerous trade to take. Price looks like it's doing it again here on the RSI. And then what are we doing? We're marking out our consolidator phases on the 15-minute, 15-minute. There we go, there we go. There we go, there we go. This one is kind of invalidated. So I'm going to just delete that. I don't want to say this one's invalidated. So yeah, let's put a little marker there. The reason why is because there's also pivot right there upon the 45. So that always provides us pretty valid opportunities. From here, it looks like we have some bullish movement currently at play after consolidation. But anyway, let's get back to strategy. So 1 hour time frame, what are we seeing? We're seeing bearish confluences. Bearish confluences. 15-minute, we're seeing those bearish confluences currently at play. So as long as this is respected, we are going to continue selling until it is no longer respected, and then we know from a 4 hour perspective we have a long way to go to the upside, so we will trade those longs. So right now I'm going to be looking for shorts here on gold until shorts no longer pay out. Marking off my consolidator phases. Here's one consolidation, two consolidations, third consolidation, fourth consolidation. I would like to say that's a fifth one, but price didn't test the RSI here, as we can see. So it's just very, very low. So you're going to have to wait out on that one. So after those are marked out, let's go into our 5-minute chart and see what we can observe. So on our 5-minute chart, we had our consolidation post the gray lines. So that's where our RSI and SMA gave us an entry on the 15-minute. Okay, we had a breakout here at 22.3, and then at 2:45 Tuesday, bullish entry, stop loss above structure, trade down, and then again at 3:30 we had a retest of consolidation, price above structure, trade all the way down. Here at 6:10 we had a breakout, price below structure, enter, trade to the downside. This one I think is a bit invalidated, so I'm actually going to get rid of that. Okay, this one was a bit tricky because the market's closed, open with a gap down, but what I observed is this consolidator phase here, price coming back, retesting, and then entered below the consolidation for 1:5. Price also creating some movements here, post the gray line. We had a massive Maribozu bearish, so I entered there and then trade to the downside. it does appear to me that we are going to be getting a retest on this consolidation again. If it breaks above this consolidation after getting an entry like that, I'm going to start assuming that the bulls are taking control and start looking for long opportunities for our time frame. From there, I would need to reevaluate the structural level, start marking out new consolidations, and then trading accordingly. So like I mentioned, intraday scalping strategy. We need to get some money in these markets now. I mean, we're not getting long-term trades, so we got to take profits where we get profits. Coming down into Euro USD, I'm applying the same logic of strategy here. But what we can observe on 4 hour, we have a bullish structure. So we have higher lows followed by higher highs. Price currently in that sweet spot on the RSI and massively testing the 50 SMA at the moment upon the support of 1.13. Price does seem to be making some highs right now, but let's go into the 4 hour and see what we can observe. From a 4 hour perspective, 50 SMA indicates bearish nature. We can see we trading below the 50 SMA and we're in the bearish territory of the RSI. Not a lot of bearish structure from what I can observe, but we do have a double top pattern right there. So just something to keep in mind. Right now, I would like to say I'm going bullish on this pair just from a 4 hour time frame, but yeah, 15-minute does indicate. So as you can see, okay, take a look at this. 4 hour indicates bullish nature. 1 hour indicates bearish nature. 15-minute indicates bullish nature. What do we do? Very, very interesting. What do we do? Well, first and foremost, my 15-minute is used for behavioral purposes, while my 1 hour is used for structural, especially when I'm scalping and intraday trading. So what does that mean? It means that I do not have a correlation between my structural level, my 1 hour, and my 15-minute level, which is behavioral. Nor do I see curvature on the SMA, which allows me to find a valid bullish opportunity. Till that happens, I'm going to be staying out of this market. Euro JPY. Let's take a look at you. Okay, Euro JPY trading within a consolidation per the 1 hour, sitting upon the 50 SMA. RSI is also in consolidation. So from a 15-minute, I'm guessing it's also consolidative. And yes, I guess correctly. Breakout, breakdown, breakout, breakdown. So staying out of Euro JPY too. USD JPY. Let's see what you have for me today. Okay, Euro JPY, we see some bullish structure currently at play with price breaking above the 50 SMA with some momentum. RSI is also very, very much in bullish territory, but structurally, we are bearish. Bearish structure currently at play. So just being cautious there. Let's go into the 15 minutes, see what we can see. Okay, so structurally, yeah, we are very much undecided from a behavioral perspective. Okay, so 15-minute behavioral, price is in consolidation on RSI, price is testing 50 SMA. We obviously had that massive test at the bearish resistance trend line from a higher time frame perspective. So no directionality there to really report until we get market directionality and correlation between time frames. Stay out of the market. Okay, so that's pretty much the new strategy. Let's take a look at Bitcoin. I was also just testing it out on Bitcoin just for fun. But yeah, you know I don't trade Bitcoin. It's just too volatile. Bitcoin making some beautiful, beautiful highs. So despite not touching our bullish support trend line on the lower term, sorry, I just want to mark this out. So yeah, we have our bullish support trend line from waiting for this to kick in. Thank you for loading. From a higher time frame perspective, it didn't tap in, but prices already started moving higher. So we've broken the bearish resistance trend line right there, and we're continuing to make highs. We currently have bullish structure in the market. We are in the way overextended region on the RSI. So I am expecting a retracement sometime soon. Markets retracing. What does that look like for me? Well, I expect price to come all the way down to the trend line at 87,000. At 87,000, I would start to look for long opportunities. But right now, 1 hour time frame, we have high lows, high lows, high lows, high lows, respective higher highs. So we are looking long structurally. 15 minute, let's see what we can see. Price trading close to the 50 SMA. We have one opportunity. We have two opportunities. We have three opportunities. We have a fourth opportunity. And then price just broke above there. So yeah, let's just mark those out for now. Mark out our consolidator phases, consolidation, consolidation, and then we go 5 minutes. From 5 minutes, what can we observe? I'm going to delete this one. From 5 minutes, what can we observe? Okay, price broke out, came back, retested, 1, 2, entered with bullish confirmation right there, price below structure, 1:9, bang. Here, this one took off without me, and it was late, so don't care. I'm leaving that be. Okay, sometimes that happens, that's okay. Then here, marked out our consolidations, we had 2 touches, break out a consolidation, enter at the bullish kicker, price below, stop loss below structure, trading for 1:2 at the moment. Could go potentially further. This one invalidated. So yeah, that is Bitcoin currently trading with bullish structure at the moment. With the correlation between the 1 hour and the 15 minute, that just gave me rise to trade this accordingly. So yeah, that is pretty much it. Let's take a look at dollar index. Dollar index making some bearish moves at the moment. By the looks of it, let's just go higher time frame. Yeah, that was correct. So 1 hour time frame, price came up, tested, break and retest level, continuing bearish at the moment. Euro index currently in a retracement, potentially pushing to the upside. Yen index also retracement, but we have this bearish resistance trend line that we currently have at play, and we got to watch out for that. It isn't an uptrend, so we could break higher, but I am cognizant of the fact that we are in deep need of a retracement. But 1 hour, it's already been tested. Let's see how this plays out. This should be interesting. I actually would like to see how the yen plays. Okay, so the VIX index, we are below 30. What does that mean? Well, that means some people are saying, hey, you know what? I'm no longer risk off. I think I'm going to make some money in these markets. Others are saying, hey, I'm still a bit fearful, only when it gets to 20. So I think your market makers, the people who are making risky decisions, are currently risk on right now. What does that mean? Risk on means they are willing to invest in indices. They are willing to take trades that push indices to the upside. They're willing to take trades on stocks. They're taking their money out of the gold market. We're seeing the dip in gold. We're seeing the increase in indices. So makes sense. Makes a lot of sense. Is it sustainable? We don't know. When we trade in this area, it is very much indecision, but we'll see as it plays out. So that is pretty much the analysis for today. I hope everybody enjoyed that. Let's take a look at a fundamentally. So we had Euro news today. French and German PMI already been released. Looks good from manufacturing, doesn't look so good from a services level. Then we have flash PMI, 10 a.m. It should have happened. So refresh that bad boy. Yep. Didn't really report though. Oh, because it's still loading. Okay, let's just wait and see. There we go. Internet's a bit slow today, people. I apologize. Yeah, so manufacturing high, services low. Pound, similar story. Manufacturing the same, services low. And then we have the USD PMI later. So definitely some movements in the markets based on fundamentals. Like I said, currencies though very much indecision territory because the time frames aren't aligning from a technical perspective. But if you are trading fundamentals, you have some movements to make over there. So yeah, guys, that is pretty much analysis for today. I hope everybody enjoyed that. It was a bit of a longer video, longer than we are used to, but it was just more an explanation of strategy as well and how I'm looking to trade these markets. But with that, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please let me know what you'd like to see more of in the future. Also, if you enjoyed it, like and subscribe. And I will catch you in the next one. Happy trading, everybody. Cheers.